magic. I had a busted wheel, a broken structure, and we fixed it. Ha! Wouldn't it be great if the human body could get fixed that easily? The challenge with my broken wheelbarrow, flat tyre, overuse injury. I've moved tons and tons of rock and sand and gravel with that wheelbarrow and I've worn it out. It's called overuse injury, and now overuse, have to throw it away, it's broken. Versus my new wheelbarrow here, which has got pumped up tyres, great structure, not rusty, ready to go. And that's beautiful because you can go and buy a new wheelbarrow. But what's the challenge with the human body, or isn't the challenge with the human body? That once it's broken, how do you fix it? And or does it recover back stronger? Does it rehabilitate to be better? Or as we get older, do we break down and we can't get fixed? And I think they're really important questions, particularly as exercise professionals, because we want our clients to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of our lives, don't we? I want to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of my life. And if I've got a broken shoulder, broken back, broken knee, broken foot, I've got worn out joints, worn out tendons and ligaments, then how can I stay long and strong for the rest of my life? So I can't go to the shop and buy a new body. I can't trade this one in and get a new one. So I have to either look after this one so it never gets busted and broken. I don't overuse it and I don't do stupid stuff with it so it gets broken. And if I have done stupid stuff with my body, which I have, how do I now rehabilitate it, recover it, get it strong again and keep it strong so it doesn't get broken ever again? And I think they're really important questions. So the first one is, how do we stop the body from getting broken in the first place? And could it be a really good idea to consider every exercise that we prescribe, everything we do with our body, is it safe, is it functional, is it high risk or low risk for injury? Now, I'm not talking about accidents. If I drop a rock on my toe, if I run my wheelbarrow over my toe, if I drop a weight on my toe in the gym, if I trip over something, if I get bitten by something, they're all accidents and I don't have any control over those. But if I put my body under high risk when I'm exercising, when I'm training, when I'm aiming to get fitter and stronger, and then I'm out doing my activities, I'm now going to be at a higher risk of having broken joints. So one of the things to really consider, please, as an exercise professional, obviously learn your anatomy and physiology and put your X-ray goggles on, because what most exercise people do is they focus on the outside of the body. How do I look on the outside? How much body fat do I have? What do my muscles look like? Can you see the striations in my V-line? Can you see the lumps in my shoulders? Without focusing on what's happening on the inside. So when you put your X-ray goggles on, literally, what's happening at the joints? What's happening where the two bones join together? Is that safe? And if I'm putting that part of my body under risk and it gets broken, how can I have low body fat percentage? How can I have strong muscles if I can't even use my body because my joints are broken? So the really big thing to look at is this going on at the joint, shearing forces, whether it's slow or fast or with rotation, or do I have compression forces and traction forces? Now, compression forces, awesome. That's what the body's designed to do. Traction forces, that's what the body's designed to do. But over and 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 over, that's going to give me overuse injury. So even if I'm doing a functional exercise, if I'm doing it at lightweight over and over and over and over and over and over, is it possible that even though it's a safe exercise and even though it's a compression force or a traction force, I could still get an overuse injury? If I'm doing this to the joint, slowly or fast or with momentum, if I'm putting shearing forces across the joint, now I'm really putting my body at risk. So if I'm doing exercises, if I've got my X-ray goggles on and I'm looking at the joint and this is happening or this is happening, I'm at a really high risk of wrecking that person's joint or wrecking my own joint. And that's what I did. I came into the exercise industry. I wouldn't call it a profession because professional people wouldn't do this to somebody's body. And I just took on board the information that people were regurgitating at me about exercises that everybody does. They're fashionable. Everybody does them. Athletes do them. Gym instructors do them. Personal trainers do them. Everybody's doing them. Did you know that 50 million people doing a dumb thing doesn't mean it's not a dumb thing? If I keep doing this to my joint or this to my joint, I'm going to wreck my joint. So when you've got your x-ray goggles on, look at the joints, the neck, the shoulder, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers, the hips, the lower back, the knees, the ankles, the feet, and say, when I do an exercise, am I putting a compression force through the joint? Am I putting a traction force through the joint? Or am I doing a shearing force and with rotation and often with speed? So if you look at exercises that are usually single joint exercises like bicep curls and kickbacks and leg extensions and leg curls and sit-ups, all the things that are putting shearing forces, rotational forces, shearing forces, rotational forces across the joint, they're going to wreck the joint. And that's why I've got wrecked joints. Every single joint in my body's broken because I was doing bicep curls and tricep kickbacks and leg extensions and leg curls and sit-ups and shoulder presses and upright rows and all the exercises that put shearing forces across my joints. So then I learnt my anatomy and physiology, realised that this is not good for my body. I need to do exercises that are compression forces and traction forces, which I'm very privileged. I've become very, very strong, but I had to rehabilitate those broken joints. They haven't gotten fixed. They're still broken. They still hurt. I wake up looking like an old lady. So I have to wake up in the morning, warm my body up, and now I've made my joints strong, I can actually still function as a human being. But I don't want to do that to my body ever again. So everything I do now is focused on big exercises, using multi-joints, using as many muscles as possible to make sure that my entire body stays strong so I can do all the things that I want to do. I can't go to the shop and trade in my body for a new one. Don't I wish, don't you? If you've got broken joints like I have, if you've ever had an injury, if you've ever had a sore joint, you'll know that it really hurts. And wouldn't it be nice to just go and buy a new elbow or go and buy a new knee or go and buy a new lower back? But we just can't do that. So we've got to make the muscles around the joint really strong. We've got to make sure that the joint stays strong, doesn't get injured. And if it has gotten injured, whether by accident or by stupid exercise choice, then we have to be really focusing on how do I make those muscles around the joint stronger. So I'll give you an example. When I was 18 years of age and I had been doing sit-ups since I was 10 years of age every single day. So shearing force, shearing force, shearing force, shearing force with rotation, shearing force with rotation over and over and over. I perforated my L4, L5 disc in my back. Ended up at an orthopaedic surgeon who I was very privileged, shared with me that, Rowie, the reason you have a perforated disc is because you've been doing so many sit-ups and sit-ups with speed and sit-ups with a twist, and they're a silly waste of time because they don't strengthen your abdominals. All they do is wreck your joint. So don't do them again. If you want to work your abdominals, get up off the floor and make sure you do big exercises that hold you in the upright position, because the big muscles that hold you in the upright position are your abdominal muscles and your lower back muscles that work in conjunction together to hold you there. Great information. So to make sure that my L4, L5 spine is protected, that my joint is protected, because I can't fix it. It's busted, it's perforated, it's ruined. If you look at my x-ray, it looks like I've had a joint fusion because I have absolutely no disc between L4, L5. But because I've been doing compound exercises in the upright position, using my abdominals and my lower back muscles in conjunction with each other to hold me upright, I can't fix my joint, but I can still function as a human being because I've got really strong abdominals and really strong lower back muscles. Not from doing sit-ups and not from doing back extensions and not from doing silly isolated exercises that put shearing forces and rotational forces across my joint, but because I've strengthened my muscles in the position that they work in. So could that be a good thing to consider? Have a look at every single joint of the body. The exercises that you're giving people, are they shearing forces, rotational forces, dangerous, bad, hurt, high risk, versus compression forces and or traction forces, but be careful of the overuse. So if you do something that's too light and you keep doing it over and over, you'll still get injured because you'll have an overuse injury. And let's just be aware of that. Even if you are 20 and bulletproof, 20 years of age and bulletproof, is it possible that if you keep doing exercises that wear your joints away, whether from overuse or rotational forces, shearing forces, that you're going to break your joints at some stage? It's not if, it's just when. So let's not do that to ourselves. Let's not do that to our client. Let's make sure that our body stays strong, it stays fit, it stays able to function, because every single joint is strong. If you've busted your joints like I have, then let's make sure that we make the muscles around each joint really strong by doing compound exercises, simply meaning multi-joint exercises using as many muscles as possible, because the human body was never designed to get broken up into little pieces. And I'll ask you that question. When do we ever do anything with using just one muscle? Whether we're running or punching or kicking or gardening or climbing or biking or making love to our partner or working hard roofing, tiling, or moving furniture, it doesn't matter. Everything that we do, we use multiple muscles at the same time. And in fact, for most sports and most activities, we're using every single muscle in our body all of the time. So why do we break the body down into little pieces? Let's use the body as a full functioning machine. Let's use as many muscles as possible at the same time, keep the joints strong, make sure the muscles get stronger and stronger and stronger, and then we could stay young and strong for long and do everything we bloody well want to. Woo-hoo!